This conference will now be recorded.
Okay. So before getting into the fusion, right? So first we should understand what are the different, kinds of platforms are available, within the fusion. So fusion is nothing but it's like we are talking about, cloud application, right? And Oracle has given that a name for this as like fusion. Fusion is like the combination of multiple things because this came up with multiple applications and they merged and then again they come up with a single application which is Oracle Fusion application. So within the cloud application or within the cloud we are having different kinds of platforms like SaaS and then again PaaS and again IAX. Yes, so these are all the three important things that we have to understand, right? Because in any interview, first they will ask you whether you are working in SaaS environment or PaaS environment, right? What is the environment you are working on? So in order to answer that, first we have to understand what is SaaS, what is PaaS, right? So that we can easily handle those kind of questions. So most of you might know about what is SaaS. Anybody, guys?
No, no, no.
Okay, no problem. So this is software as service. Okay. So in SaaS environment, we won't do any kind of else, no customizations, right? In SaaS environment, where it's software as service, we cannot do any kind of adjustments within the application. Whatever the Oracle has given, we have to, or the client or the business has to go with that, the standard functionalities, right? No access to the database. We don't have any access to the database, unlike you know with the e-business suite, right? In e-business, you're going to have Toad and used to connect to that particular environment, and you can access the data from the tables, and you can do some kind of insert, update, delete operations, right? But in SaaS environment, you cannot have access to the database, and then no customizations to the application, right? These are all the very, very, very important. And we'll, if you take an example to the software as service, right? So let's take any application, for example, your WhatsApp. I think everybody having WhatsApp, right?
Yeah, no.
So you are using the WhatsApp, which is an application, right? Are you, yeah, I mean, are you going to do any kind of customizations in that? Are you, or can you able to change the logic of that uh, WhatsApp underlying logic?
No, no.
No, right? So whatever the company, WhatsApp company providing to you, you are just going to use that, right? And of course, you can do some kind of adjustments. Like you can have your own profile images. But again, these are all it's a part of the application. That is a functionality of the application, right? Having profiles and having status, right? And whether some kind of account settings, security settings, like again, right? Visibility settings. These are all it's kind of settings that are provided by the WhatsApp company, right? So అవన్నీ మనం ఎలా చూడొచ్చు అంటే we can take you can take them as your configurations or setups, right? Your account configurations, your security configurations, is it or not within the WhatsApp, right,
Yeah, no.
guys?
Yeah, no.
So in that, we are just using the application and we are not going to do any kind of customizations within that application, whether it's a WhatsApp or whether it is an Oracle Fusion application, right? If when you are working on a SaaS environment, because you are just the Oracle has just provided the software to you. It's an application, that's it. It's a software. We don't have any right, or we don't have any, the options to add customizations to the software. Whatever the software he has given, we have to use the the software and its underlying functionalities. That's it. We are not going to do any customizations, nothing, right? So here, no database, no customizations, nothing. And again, we'll go to the PaaS environment. What is PaaS? Again, this is product as service. So in this, able to do customizations, able to access database, but like you don't focus much on the database side, but only focus on the customizations, where we can able to do customizations, in which environment I can able to do customizations, right? So here you can able to do customizations, and also you can able, I mean, but whatever the servers and database, these are not within your premises, within your company premises. All your database and then servers are maintained by the Oracle. Even in the first case also, it's entirely like it's maintained by the Oracle, right? No customizations, servers and databases, everything maintained by the Oracle. Even in the past also it is same. All the servers and database, everything is maintained by the Oracle, but still they will provide a work area, or where we can able to do customizations, right? Guys, are you with me?
Yeah, no.
Right, so we can able to do customizations, but all the servers and databases are maintained by the Oracle company. And again, coming to the IaaS, infrastructure as service. Within this infrastructure as service, so here also we can able to do customizations, just like in PaaS, right? And again, coming to the servers, all the servers on the equipment, everything is maintained by the organization or the company. They will be within the company premises, right? All the infrastructure is within the company. So they'll come and they'll install everything, all the servers, connections, everything along with the application, right? So everything is maintained by the company itself. So here Oracle is not doing anything, right? We can able to do customizations, and we are having all the servers and everything within the company premises, right? So this is about infrastructure as service. So here, if anything happens with the servers, Oracle is not responsible. The company has to handle that situation, where in infrastructure as service, right? Because all the servers are maintained by the company, not by the Oracle, right? So Oracle is not responsible for that, but company is responsible, or the particular organization is responsible for that. But when it comes to the PaaS and SaaS, yes, Oracle is responsible for the downtimes. Whenever server got down, Oracle has to work on it. It's not the the organization's responsibility. Okay, so this is about SaaS, PaaS, and again IaaS. So any doubts in this? Service as software, product as software, and then again infrastructure as software. Because when they will definitely ask you about these environments, did you work on SaaS or did you work on PaaS, right? So when they ask you such questions, you just answer to them that you worked only on SaaS environment, right? Don't commit that you worked on PaaS environments. That makes you know, your interview time very, very difficult. They will ask you how you implemented the extensions, right? What are the extensions they are available in the Fusion? So never commit to the PaaS. Always stick to the SaaS environment. Got it, guys?
Okay.
Okay,
Okay.
SaaS means
good.
platform as service or product as service.
Even I got some doubts on it. Like, let me do that. Sometimes we get confused here. It's a platform as service. Sorry, guys. Okay. Platform as service where Oracle will allow us to do customizations to the application, right? Okay, now we'll go to the application. So before going to the application again, how you used to access the application in e-business suite in R12 or R13, like R12? You should have Java installed in in your system, right? Without that, you cannot open your application forms. You cannot open your
Yeah.
forms, right? So it's a system dependability, and I mean you have to have some kind of prerequisites in order to access the application for in e-business suite. But when it comes to the Fusion, as we're saying, it's a cloud, right? We don't require any kind of Java plugins here. All the application will be within the web page only. We are not going to have any Java forms here. No more Java forms in Fusion application. Sorry, in in Fusion application. Okay, everything will be okay. So everything will be handled through web page only. There is no need to install any Java plugins here. Okay. So, as I said, we will get a URL in order to access the application. Just like how we access Amazon in web page, www.amazon.in, www.facebook.com, www.gmail.com, right? So, in the same way, we will get an URL, right, in order to access the application. Even if you take Amazon or Facebook, when you go to www.facebook.com, are you going to access your profile directly, or is there anything you have to do before that?
Login
ID
and
and
password.
password.
Right? So, login information, username, username and password, right? So, even to the Fusion application also, you should have your own login details, your own username and password. So, let's go. Okay, let's go to the application. So my URL here is, this is the URL. Okay. So if you just copy this and if you go to the new web page, Give the URL, and then it will ask you to sign in into the application. So you have to give your username, and then you have to give your password as well. So once you have your username and password, then you can able to sign in. So let's see. Done. So we just logged in to the application. This is my Fusion application, Oracle Fusion application. So this is like an home page, right? So currently we are in a welcome page, or you can, it's not a home page, it's in a welcome page. So again, from the welcome page, you have to go to the home page. So how to go to the home page? If you see here, you have a home icon here. If you click on it, you can go to the home page. So this is your home page, right guys? Everyone,
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yeah.
right? So remember, these terms are very important. One is home page. If you want to make a note, make a note on your notes, because when you are having discussions with your users, will when and also when to guide them, we have to ask them, right? Go to home page, and from there, go here, go there, right? So what are the terms I'm using here? They are very very important. And remember, guys, you came through the e-business application, right? Which is the complex, very, very, very complex one, right? So as you have gone through that, Fusion is nothing to you, right? Because Fusion is very, very complex one when it compares to the, sorry, e-business suite is very, very complex when it compares to the Fusion application. And as you have already, got a good grip on it, so if Fusion is just like a, simple web page for you, that's it. Okay. But coming to the functionalities, whatever the things you have learned in a business suite, they are very, very, very important for you. They are your fundamentals, they're your basics. That's the base for you. If you are not good enough in that, even though you are in e-business suite or even though you are in Fusion application, it's waste of time, right? So it's always, you have to be very, very cautious with your basics, with your fundamentals, right? What is an expenditure type? If you know that, whatever the form it is, it's a one-time job, right? How to access that or how to define that expenditure type. But if you don't know what is an expenditure type, that's again useless, right? Because even when you are trying to explain to the business, the client, what is an expenditure type, because they don't know what is an expenditure type, they used to refer this, in their application a different way. But you are the one who are going to make them to understand what is an expenditure type, or what is an expenditure category, or what is a project template, right? So
Yeah,
have good knowledge.
Devendra,
Yes, Anand.
what Devendra is saying from his side is simple thing is as per the system functionality, you know what is the expenditure type. When you are going to book any expenditure against a project, then you will specify the expenditure type. From their side, business point of view, they will not consider as a expenditure type. They will treat as a, it may be as a capex, it may be as apex. Then we need to explain how expenditure types are going to be useful to capture the actuals against the particular project. Terms are going to be entirely different when it comes to the Oracle as well as the actual business process. They can say as a actuals, we can say as a cost, they can say as a expense items. We are going to be say as a expenditure items, and also they will say as a expenses. We are going to be say as a expenditure types. And also, whenever, see, thing is, whenever we have a Oracle functionality, expenditure types or categories, then as per the business functionality, we should be there in a position to explain what is the expenditure type, what is the purpose, how it is going to be useful to the business process to capture their actual cost, and also how it can be used in the accounting, maybe everything we need to explain from the business point of view. We cannot explain everything from the application point of view. Everything has to be explained from the business point of view. We cannot say that expenditure type will be used to capture the expenditures against a project. We cannot say that expenditure category will be used to categorize the expenditure types. We should be there in a position to explain that this is the purpose of the expenditure type, why Oracle has provided this particular expenditure type functionality, how it is going to be beneficial to the business process, how expenditure categories are going to be beneficial. Each and every functionality we need to explain to the business as per their business process, not as per the Oracle functionality, because they were not aware of the Oracle functionality. They were aware of their as usual business process. There will be CPAs, chartered professional associates, maybe chartered accountants, maybe a lot of people will be there. Certified professional associates, everything will be there. Now, certified professional accountants, CPA means. In the USA, it will be called as a CPA. Certified professional accountants, in the India, it will be called as a CA. A lot of people will be there. They know each and every accounting transaction. They know what is the each and every accounting entry, what is the debit and credit and everything. They are aware of each and everything when it comes to more than to us. But the thing is, they were not aware of the application, but they can understand immediately. But thing is, it should be there in a position to explain. Why? Because all the people. See, I'm running the institute for the last 12 years. In the 12 years, maybe I can say for each year, maybe I can say roughly 4 batches. I can say that almost I completed 50 batches. In the 50 batches, what I observed is the persons who give the presentation, they got the job immediately. The person who does not give the presentation and also who has more knowledge also, maybe at any cost they are unable to get the job. Simple thing is give the presentation, every day give the presentation for morning of 1 hour, evening 1 hour. Then only will get the job. You don't know why. Same question. Suppose here, maybe I don't want to mention the names, maybe in 2018 batch, one girl got 11 jobs. But in the same batch, nobody is able to somebody is unable to get the job, they left the ERP field. That is not the problem of the faculty, right? But she is to give the presentation in 2018. I think 2018 made a viral. I cannot reveal the name, but thing is she got 11 jobs. Why? Because of her presentation skills only. In 2008 also, one girl got the same kind of the job. Why? Because at that point of time, see, there is always telephonic rounds will be there. Because of that reason, all the boys depends upon me, but they haven't depended upon me because of the particular reason. They worked on their own. They are able to get multiple jobs. But nowadays, no telephonic nothing. Everything is the teams type, whatever it may be. They are also following a lot of precautions as the genuine candidate, fake candidate, fraud candidate. Nowadays, presentations and subject knowledge is very much required for each and every person. As a faculty, Devendra and myself, we are going to provide all the inputs. But thing is, if you are not going to do any presentation, no, nobody can do anything. This is my final last message, apart from the subject. If you do the presentations, if you give the presentations, then only can survive. Otherwise, next batch will get the job. That's it. Will be keep you're going to be sit there here only, boss. Next batch will get the job. That's it. That is going to be happen. Do not blame me. That I am saying. Give the presentation. Hey, see, simple thing is, I'm not taking the classes for the last 1 year. Now when I'm going to take the classes, at least it is taking at least 2 to 3 minutes to get the rhythm to me. Even though I delivered the more than the 200 batches. I gave the corporate trainings along with here also. Simple thing is do the presentations. Otherwise, I cannot do anything. I'm helpless also. But see, Devendra, see whatever I'm saying is correct, right?
Yes, sir, absolutely.
Then their wish, then everything, whatever he's saying is try to explain Oracle functionality from business point of view. Then only can survive each and everything. That's it. Am I right, Devendra? Hello.
Yes, Anna.
దానికి ఎస్ అన్నారు దేవేంద్ర.
Anna?
మరి దానికి ఎస్ అని వద్దు అంటున్నా.
Anna, మీ వాయిస్ బ్రేక్ అవుతుంది ఇందాక.
Do not say everything. Do not say yes to everything. That's what I'm saying.
Anna.
Sir, carry on. Okay. Hello.
Guys, so you have to focus on your presentations because if you are not ready to give presentations, stop coming to institute because there is no use, right? Even when you join into any organization, that is your daily job, hourly job, right? If you are not willing to give presentations, it's waste of your own time. Remember, right? So daily, if you like want to give four presentations, five presentations, yes, take it, right? So that you can get your job very easily. Not only the job, see, don't focus on getting job. Everyone, in the batch, they will get job 100%, not 100, 200%. But how they are surviving when after, going, getting into that particular organization, that is very important. If you don't give presentations much here, there, then you will suffer a lot in the organization, right? So keeping it in mind, give as many as presentations you can. That is very, very important because since many years Ramesh Anna used to stress this is the, I mean, on this only point, right? Not only to my batch, to all the batches. He always, stress it because he knows what works better for you, right? Okay. Okay, guys. So the first key thing is like homepage, right? So once we come into the homepage, what are the things here that we have to learn or understood? So as I said yesterday, before learning car, you should understand the different parts of the car, right? The wipers, clutch, gear, steering, right? Lights, everything. If you don't understand that, if you don't know them, that's it, right? It's gone. So let's mainly focus on to understand what are the different areas and what we call them, right? Before getting into the actual project portfolio management area. Okay. So within the homepage, you can see different work areas or different pillars or offerings, right? So you can see contract management, order management, as well as receivables, supply chain management, and payables, and our area, projects, general ledger, right? So these are all the different modules or the offerings what you can see in the home page. Okay, and again within the each offering or module, you can see the work areas: project financial management, project management, assets, cost, right? And I will explain you what each work area contains. Don't worry about that. But I'm just making you to familiar what we call each one of things here. So within the projects offering, we have different work areas like financial management, assets, cost. Within the cost, where we can able to handle all the cost related, I mean related to the projects, accounting, capturing cost, reviewing the cost, calculating the burdening, allocations, everything, right? We'll deal everything within the cost work area, right? So that is our next thing. Before that, we'll see other areas what we have to know. So you are okay, right? With this, we call all these as work areas and then offerings, right? And then on your left hand side, at the topmost left hand side, you can see three sleeping lines, right? Or three horizontal lines, right? So we call this as navigator or hamburger. So always we can refer either of the thing, but use navigator, which is very easy to refer, right? So we refer this as navigator or hamburger. So within this also, you can see all the offerings on the work areas, right? So if you see here, let's go to the projects. We are having cost, assets, project management, financial management, and apart from that, even we are having dashboards as well. And again, in future, we'll see what the dashboard and what are the available dashboards within the projects, right? And what are they? We'll see in detail about the dashboards. And even if you want to add this dashboard work area here, yes, you can do that. You can just use this personalized springboard or the plus icon here, and then you can add the project related dashboards as well here. Okay. Now within the navigator, again we'll find all the offerings and again the work areas within each offering. And again, if you scroll down here, you can also see some kind of tools. Within the tools, again, we are having some important things which we will see in detail. But my thing is like to remember what is the navigator and what the navigator contains, right? So what are the things you are able to see within the navigator, you can also able to see here also, right? So even you are having tools here, others here, right? So again, within the tools, we are having important things like schedule process, and we'll see what is schedule process and security console, right? And again, import and export management, reports and analytics. These are very, very, very important things which we will go, I mean, which we will see in detail, right? So that is about a navigator. And then again, if you come to the right hand side of the application, right? If you want to add some any okay, let's before that, if you want to refer any web page frequently, what will you do? You will make that as your favorite, right? You will just add that as a bookmarks, isn't it, Anand? Our favorites, right? So in the same way, your core area or your important area within the projects, again, you want to access the cast, right? So you can make that as your favorites so that you can directly, add to favorites. You can directly come here and access that appropriate work area, right? And again, if you go to the recent items, whatever you have done, so it will list down all the things, right? But if you want to add any things into your favorite catalog, you can add it here and you can directly access from your favorite icon. Okay, next. The other important thing here is the bell. Can you see the bell icon here, guys?
Yeah, no.
Right? So the purpose of the bell icon here
Yes,
is
sir. Yes.
to notify the or to inform you the notifications, right? So with respect to the user, so as a user standpoint, they will get some kind of notifications, right? If anyone submitting anything for their approvals, then they can see the approvals here. And also if we submit time cards, we can also see the notifications here whether it got submitted or it got rejected, right, for our own time cards. In the same way, we can see all the notifications under your bell icon, right? And also not only the notifications, you can also go to the BPM work list. If you map it to the e-business application, we can call that as workflow. What is the use of workflow? To configure the approvals, right, guys?
Yeah, no.
Are you
Yeah,
aware
no.
about workflow, everyone?
No, no.
Sahiti, Shrikala?
No, sir.
No, no.
No. Okay. So it's a, I mean, we have to know what is a workflow, but we don't configure or we don't work on workflow, but we have to know what is workflow. Workflow in e-business suite is used, it's a tool. Okay. It's a tool, workflow builder. Just like report builders or form builders, we are also having a workflow builder. which is used to configure the approvals. If you want to send in approvals for your projects or for your budgets, right? So how are you going to do that? We can able to configure the approvals using workflow builder, and this is carried out by the technical team, not by the functional team. Remember, this is also very 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 important, right? And when it comes to the fusion application, okay, so we don't have any workflow builder or workflow builder tool. So instead, Oracle Fusion has given an inbuilt tool called BPM worklist, business process management, right? So we can able to access that using the bell icon, and where we will try to configure all the approvals. And remember, unlike in e-business suite, in Fusion, functional team or functional consultant is going to configure all the approvals. Remember, this is also very important difference. In e-business suite, we don't configure, but we will prepare the design document and then we'll submit it to the technical team. Using that design document, technical team will try to configure the work approvals using the workflow builder. But in Fusion application, functional consultants are going to configure the approvals using the BPM work list. This is very very important. Make a note on it. Okay, guys. Next,
Okay.
and we'll see in detail in future how to go to, like, what are the things in the BPM worklist, and what we have to do, how to configure the approvals, everything we'll see in detail. No need to worry about that. Okay, so that
Can
is
you
one
please
thing.
repeat, sir?
Sorry.
Can you please repeat, sir, once again? Functional consultant. When you functional consultant is going to approve in Fusion.
No, functional consultant is going to configure the approvals. Okay, we won't approve anything. We are just implementation users. Once the application gone live, that's it. We don't have any relationship with that. Users will take care of everything, right? We are not the persons. We'll try to just implement the application, that's it. Got it, Arjun? Okay, so let's go to the another thing. If you see here, username, right? KD, this is Kiran. So this is the username. Under, I mean, beside username, if you can see one drop down arrow, right? So you can say that is a menu, user menu, right? So you can click on it, user menu. Then you can see setup and maintenance, edit pages. This is a different concept. If you want to personalize your page, then we are going to do that using these things. And again, we will see that in detail in future, right? If you want to know about the application, like what is the current version of the application, you can see from here. And if you want any help, like any content related to your objects, you can go to the applications help, right? And again, the other important thing is here, highlight flexi fields. It will, so when you are in a particular page and if you want to see the flex fields columns within that page, then if you highlight the, if you click on it, then it will highlight all the DFF columns or the flex field columns, right, that are available within that page, right? And the most important thing here is setup and maintenance. This is very very important, because all the configurations or all the setups we are going to do within the setup and maintenance, right,
Yeah,
guys?
man. Yeah, man.
Okay, right. So that is about within the user menu. And let me see if I have to think any other
Flag
things.
symbol, no?
What?
Flag symbol is there in beside the favorite. Yeah.
This is like a watch list. If you want to have, to monitor anything, any particular activities where you are going to, make it have enable the flag so that you can track on it. But I didn't use this. Just like in your Microsoft Outlook, right? You can able to flag any mail, right? So that you can able to watch it or monitor it. Once you
Okay.
are done with that, you can unflag it. One, right? So that once you flag it, you can see that the red flag symbol against that particular email, and you can track it easily, right? So the same purpose of the flagging here.
Okay.
Okay, so that is about the overview, right? And let's go to the setup and maintenance now, right? So how to go to the setup and maintenance? User menu, setup and maintenance, right?
Anna.
Let's go to the setup and maintenance. Within the setup and maintenance, we can see different things again here. So if you see here, these are all under setup. You can see different offerings. Offerings means modules, right? Like our financial management, financials, enterprise contracts. I mean, forget about this now because when we talk about project building, then we can come here and order management, right? This is related to HCM module, right? So these are all under your setup. You can see different offerings. So don't refer module here. Refer these as offerings. Got it? Sai, Arjun,
Okay, Anna.
right? You have to refer them these as your offerings, right? So even in your real time, when you are guiding someone, you have to go to, go to the setup and select the particular offering, or go to the offerings and select the particular offering like project financial management. This is our core area. This is our primary area. If you go to the financials, you can see all the payables, receivables, everything here. Fixed assets, general ledger, cash management, everything comes under financials, right? Now let's go to the project financial management offering, right? Under this offering, you can see functional areas. What we call all these as functional areas, right, guys?
Yeah, Anna.
So remember these terms. These are very important, right? Because still we didn't dive into the PPM fully. I'm just making you to familiarize what we call the all the different available things or the objects within this application, right? So irrespective of the offering, whether you are in financial management or sorry, financials or HCM, whatever it is, every offering contains functional areas, and each functional area contains tasks. Now I am in project foundation functional area. Under this, I'm having different tasks. If you see here, expenditure types, work types, project status, expenditure categories, right? Rate schedules, non-labor resource, project types, project templates, all these will refer them as tasks. If you see here, the heading of this is task, right? So we refer them as tasks. And again, if you see here under show, there are some required tasks and again optional or all tasks. That means under required tasks, you can able to see all the mandatory setups that you have to configure. Got it? And
Yeah,
if you
Anna.
select all tasks, it will list on all the other things apart from the mandatory setups. It will also list down some optional configurations or optional setups like work types, service types, project class categories, right? These are all the optional things. right? So this is how you can able to control the visibility of the tasks. So you can select either all tasks or required tasks. If you select the required tasks, you can only see the mandatory tasks that are required to configure the application. Okay, and again we are having the functional areas separated by the I mean the area wise. If you see this, the project foundation, again you can compare with the e-business suite. So these are all the the setups that we used to configure under project foundation, right? Even if you e-business also, expenditure types, revenue types, project templates. So these are all the common or the foundational configurations, right? Got it, guys? Is project type related to project billing and or project costing, or let's say project template? Is it
No,
specifically related to any project costing or billing? No, right? It's a generic one,
no,
right?
no.
So all those things will be listed down under project foundation. Okay. In the same way, you can also see capital projects. Then the setups that are required to configure your capital projects apart from your basic foundation configurations. If you go to the alt task, you can see everything. Like again, you can see the same project type within the project foundation, right? But when it comes to the capital projects, what you have to do, right? So even you have to create a project type, right? So that's why it even listed down for manage project types, and again within that we have to configure the capitalization options check tab within the manage project types. So it will make our job very easy, right? So if you are going to configure your capital projects, directly you can come here and you can cross check what are the things you have to do. And again, if you are having capitalized interests, then you can come here and you can configure them. Project types, within the project types, what you have to do, right? And again within the project status, what you have to do, because again for capitalized interest, you have to enable the checkbox, right? Without that, again you cannot generate capitalized interest transactions. And again if you go to the project billing, right? What are the configurations or the setups that are required to configure your project billing, right? So if you go to the all task, you can see all the setups that are required to configure your project billing, like event types, contract types, billing cycles, invoice formats, invoice methods, revenue methods. Again we'll see in detail one by one, don't worry, right? So that is about a functional area. And then the task, every functional area contains list of tasks, and your job is to remember all these tasks, sorry, functional areas. And from tomorrow onwards, we'll try to begin from the initial users. Okay, from this functional area we'll go one by one, and then we'll move to the transactional part as well once after completing the all the setup related things. Okay. um, that's it. And your job is to remember, let me pick some important things. You have to remember initial users, that is again not very much important, but the mandatory 100% thing you have to remember, like organizational structure, workforce structures, project organizations, users and security, project foundation, burdening, control, costing, capital, contract, billing base, project accounting, okay, and then internal project building. So you have to remember all these things, right, as a PPM consultant in order to face any kind of interview questions, because they will ask you, because this is also one of the default interview question: what are the available functional areas within the project financial management offering. This is straightforward interview question. Got it, guys?
Yeah, Anna.
If you want to make a note on it. This is a straightforward interview question. And after this, they will also ask you about the tasks, right? In which functional area you can able to define your mm, expenditure types, or in which functional area you are going to define your contract types, right? So they will try to give you the tasks, related task, and they will ask you in which functional area it is available. Or sometimes they will ask you the functional area, and then they will also ask you to list down some of the tasks that are available under that particular functional area, right? So that is your primary task, to remember all the functional areas and then the task underneath each functional area.
Okay, Anna.
Okay, guys.
Okay, Anna.
So I'll stop here, but you have to remember the things what I have explained here. And one more thing which I forgot. If you see here on my right hand side, we call this as tasks or task list, whatever you can call it as. So if you go to the task list, you can see some options again here, but don't worry about this task list. Once we get into the work areas like project financial management or cost or assets, there we can see what is an task. Okay, and then if you want to search for a particular task, because sometimes uh, the managers, or they don't remember the exact task, I will under each functional area. So what they do, they'll go to the search tasks. But remember, guys, you don't follow this method. You have to remember the task related to each functional area. But I'm just giving the available option. If, for example, I want to search for a project template, right? So I can search here for the task, and then if you click on search, you can see manage project templates available under project foundation functional area, right? Then you can click on it. You can go to that particular functional area, and you will directly redirect it to the task. You can go and open the manage project templates, right? So that is about the tasks. And again, about these actions, I'll try to give after looking at the configurations. Okay, guys, any questions related to this introduction of application? In real time, you will get an username, password along with the URL, right? That is an implementation user.
By that URL, we can access every module or particular module, Anna.
What Ablash?
By giving company's URL, we can
Mhm.
access every module or only particular module.
Good question. So let's think about e-business suite first. Uh, Not to the I mean, in like in your systems you are going to have all the responsibilities, everything. But in real time, will user have all the responsibilities? Because let's say I'm the project accountant user. Will I have an access to the general ledger or HCM modules or financial modules, guys?
No, no.
No, right? So how are we going to control that in e-business suite? If I want to give access to the projects related modules to a user, how can I control that, or how can I
Giving
give access,
assigning responsibilities to that particular
You have to
user.
assign responsibility to user.
right?
Assign responsibility.
So
Yeah,
assigning that particular responsibility to the user,
sir.
right? But when it comes to the fusion, that's entirely different. We don't have any responsibilities here. No more responsibilities. Instead of responsibilities, we are going to use roles. I mean, they just change the name because responsibility is like a some kind of very deep, I mean, very in-depth name. But in general, what we call like uh, if you say if you are conducting any drama or if you are conducting any event, right, any function, what they'll ask, what is your role in that? Like organizer or a labor or a mediator, right? What we call all these as a roles, right? That exactly tells your actions or the activities what you're going to perform, right? So in the same way, within the few, like the Oracle has given some kind of real time or the what you can say, very suitable names instead of responsibilities. Now in Fusion, we are going to call them as roles. No more responsibilities. Now it's a role based access. Okay, guys. Abhijit,
No.
Abhilash, right? So we will assign the roles to the user. Accordingly, he will get the access to the particular module.
Okay.
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 Good. Okay, guys. I think it's almost more than 1.5 hour. I'm going to end the session here, but I'm not going to give access to this application because this is entirely restricted. But have a look, get familiar to the application. We will also drive the entire cycles from starting to ending, right? Project, I mean, contract cycle, capital cycle, everything. Okay, so no need to worry about that. And we'll also see how to migrate data from one environment to another environment within the fusion, right? Okay, I think today I missed one person in giving presentation. Who is that apart from Sai?
నే ఆయమన్నా
Who is this?
రాకేష్ అన్న.
Okay, Rakesh, again you can continue tomorrow, or else if you want to continue now you can continue. Don't, I mean, guys, no one move out of this. Let's Rakesh complete his session or presentation, then you can disperse. Okay, guys. Okay, carry on, Rakesh.
ఓకే అన్న. Now we're going to discuss about contact process flow. We'll start by creating project type, project template, and copying that to actual project. Then we'll go through agreement and funding. After that, we'll create and baseline the cost and revenue budget, and then we'll book the expenditures. After booking the expenditures, we'll generate the revenue. We'll generate revenue accounting events and create accounting. And after that, we'll generate draft invoice and interface that invoice to receivables, and we'll run auto invoice import program in receivables. And after that, we'll come back to the projects to tie back the invoice from receivables. This is the contract project process flow.